Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, get that bell notification on, and make sure to hit the like button on the video. It helps with the channel a lot. We're going to be doing a city review in this episode. Last episode we finished off the city, and I know there's always stuff we could keep on doing to fill in every single little spot in the city, but at some point you just got to say the city's complete, and I think the city is pretty complete. This top-down view of the city is pretty cool looking, not gonna lie. So what are we gonna do in today's episode? We're gonna kind of go over everything we built in the city, and then at some point we're gonna look at all the mods and assets we use for the city, and then we're gonna finish off the video by doing some cinematics of the city. So next episode is going to be a transit episode on the city. We're gonna kind of attempt to fix the traffic in the city, if there even is any. I don't really think the traffic's that bad in the city, but you never know. There's probably going to be some hot spots at least. If we go over here, there's a couple hot spots throughout the city, but especially over here. But I think it's not even simulating. I think this interchange this whole area could probably use some help, but that's going to be for next episode. But overall, it's not that bad. We have some death care issues out this way, but I said I wasn't going to do anything about this, so let's just take a quick peek. No, there shouldn't be. I guess those ambulances got carried. We're doing other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to start probably at the starting tile that we had, which was over here. We're going to kind of go over what we built throughout the episodes. So pretty sure we started with just like a pretty simple roundabout entrance into the city, and then eventually we kind of changed this to be an intercity highway or inner city highway, with lots of diamond interchanges along it, very typical of a highway you'll see throughout the cities of North America. And I gotta say, I really like the way New Lancaster turned out. This is what we named the city. This was the original city. It's got a good spread of density, with a lot of the density hanging out by the port, which would make sense. And then we have the New Lancaster Piers, which is just this area, and it's a leisure zone with some fishing along the sides and some nice piers to hang out at. It's got a nice ferry station, which we built really early on, which takes people across the river. And we always had dealt with some noise complaints, but I think we ended up fixing it from people who lived over here, complaining about the noise of the piers, all the partying going on down here. I didn't really want to make this area the downtown or the highest density part of the city, because I always envisioned this area being all the skyscrapers, but it definitely needed to get some high density in here. So I'm really glad that's what we ended up doing. This is City Hall, and then we also have this old building as well around it. It kind of goes to the theme of this being the original part of the city, and the city's eventually growing up around it. We also have Alexander Keith's Memorial Park, which is really, really good. And look at that, we never actually boosted it to max money. That's funny, because that would have made us a ton of cash throughout the years, because it's the year 2165. This park was the original park of the city. It burned down a couple times, which is pretty silly, but it always got rebuilt. We also have the music hall over here as well, the music club. So it's a pretty lively part of the city. I really enjoyed building around here. We built this hospital campus over here as well, pretty close. There's always room to grow. We could have always taken over some of these blocks and made them higher density, but I feel like we have a good medium density zone that kind of tapers off into the residential zone. We have this little pocket of high density right by a pretty major transit area. Lots of bus lines going through here. Could have a dedicated bus road over here that goes to the highway, where all the buses from the suburban networks come down to get to the downtown. We'll go over all the transit in the city in a little bit. So pretty sure we expanded southwards right away. Oh, no, we didn't. We expanded this way. But this was our industrial quarter. We called it Industrial Square. And we put the bus terminal in here. And this is one of the videos we based off of... we based the whole episode on, is getting all the bus routes throughout here with my good buddy Ryan, who's a real transit planner. Check out those videos down below, or in on my channel if you want to see what a real transit planner thinks about transit planning in this game. But this is an inner city bus station, and I'm pretty sure it has a subway connection as well. So I'm really happy with that. I think we also added in some of these buildings as well. Yeah, Downtown Hotel. Some nice, more brutal architecture. But it really helps fill in the city vibes that this had. So yeah, we built this bridge across to this area, which is a pretty nice bridge. I really like the look of the old industrial bridge. And we started off by expanding a lumber yard and a farm. We named them after hockey players from the East Coast of Canada, because this is an East Coast Canadian themed city. Really, you know, it's definitely taken on a life of its own. It started off with some East Coast charm, but now it's huge, the city. But you know, it definitely wasn't the most efficient way to build farms and a lumberyard, but you know, it worked. It gave us everything we needed. Eventually, you know, there is a lot of traffic here, but we did work out this intersection pretty good. It could probably use a light, but you know, it's a little tricky when you have the roads coming so close to the interchange, which is just a giant roundabout in a Dunbell interchange here. So we have the cargo train line over this way, which we built like a long while after. But this is where all the farm and lumber gets exported from throughout the city, unless they're driven away. And this takes us to our little tech campus area. Didn't know really what to call this area, but you know, we had a lot of the larger tech buildings in here, some warehouses, some offices, medical laboratory. Cool. That's a nice looking building. But I felt like this is a good kind of use of a more industrial space. We also built a mini police academy out this way, which doesn't have that many people using it. I did, I'm pretty sure I have a mod conflict that's causing issues where people aren't going to university as much, because there's no universities out over here yet. This one only has 141 people going to it. That's a little weird. But as we're kind of going across this river, we also continue the tech campus out this way, which is a pretty recent video where we added in some office space. This is like a medical area, a medical campus. And then we also built our disaster relief area. And this is, what is it, the Nanotechnology Center. We turned it off because it was pretty expensive, but the building looks really, really cool when you go into cinematic mode, obviously. So, and it's right beside the CIA building. It's a really cool looking area, and it's good use of space. We debated about what to do with this area for a long time, and we settled on doing something like this with it, adding in some of these larger buildings. Then we also made it so that water can go around it, so it's its own island, which makes it even cooler. So continuing on on the main peninsula where New Lancaster, or I guess it's an island where New Lancaster was built. We added in some parks, some nice hiking trails, and then we have this one park that kind of goes through this little ravine. And this was a great park to build because there was lots of people cutting through to get to the other side. So if you charge people a lot to get through, it's a little bit of a quirkiness of the game. You can make a lot of money that way. So a lot of people choose to walk through the park because it's the fastest route, and they pay a toll to get in. But this area was kind of like the outskirts, and it was gentrified over time. We have some factories over here, the printing press and the toy factory. And that was right beside this area over here, which was the Alexander Keith's Amphitheater. And we never really got to level 3 with that because the bands have 0 popularity. And I know there's a way to actually work this out, but I kind of forgot about it for a while, and then all of a sudden they all had no popularity. So I kind of screwed that one up. But overall, I think the area is really cool. That'd be a nice area to go to a concert. If you're kind of down in here, jumping around to your favorite band, you get to look at the city in the background. And then when you're done, whoa, lots of people waiting for the bus here. When you're done, you can get to go to the bar area, which we built over here. The nice little leisure zone, which kind of takes you over to the city's baseball field. Minor league team, probably. Yeah, if that at all. I don't think we had a name for the team. The New Lancaster Alligators. Nice. And this has a great view. If you're sitting down here, you get to look at the lake, look at the downtown. I would love to go to a game at that diamond. That is really, really nice. And it's right beside a subway station, which makes it for easy transit throughout the city. We also built up this area pretty recently, and we added in the MTI building, the Technology Institute, over this way, and then we also added in the Posh Mall over here because it's an area that's pretty accessible because of the transit, and it's also right beside the amusement park. It's pretty cool. So this takes us over to our municipal zone. So it has some factories over here as well. And this is where we're kind of getting all our power from. Out this way. And it also is where we have our water treatment. Right kind of at the end of all the rivers going through the city. So there's not polluted water coming through here. It's all, if it's seeping into the lake at all, or the river system at all, it's right out to sea. And we also have our industrial steel plant, which I think when we built it, we were like, this is the old one, this is the new one. And we also built this factory in pretty recently as well. I think it's the soft paper factory, but it's pretty cool. We also have a little teeny community out this way, near to a national park. We built a couple of these a couple episodes ago, throughout the city, wherever there was these smaller old forts and stuff. And this takes us to our secondary ore mining facility, which we haven't really gotten to the primary one yet because that's out in the suburbs, but we built this pretty recently as well. And this was pretty much just to help the metal supply. We also added some glass manufacturing to the area as well, eventually. But we also built these 2 little island communities out this way, and this was really fun to build. Also kind of tease some detailing that we're going to be doing in the next series, hopefully, with some of this, some fence action. Eventually, when was this? I think it was during the Christmas season. We built this highway interchange, which came over into here and then connected it to this highway system, which I'm not sure if this was also an original. No, I'm pretty sure we built this highway as well. Yeah. Yeah, we did. So we built these two highways, and it really helped the traffic in the area get around. But by building those, we made this one, which was an original highway, pretty much obsolete from about here all the way over to here. So that's kind of why we chose this area for the ore industry. And what it did was it helped supply ore over in this way, over in this area, and then over by our port as well, which was kind of struggling to get ore from all the way over here. Also helps fill out the space as well. So let's now go to our port. So this one was built, I think, was it around January maybe? We built this port. It was a long time coming. We struggled to try to find a good place for it throughout the city because there's so many good places to build. But it has a cargo area for train deliveries if they're not going right to the shipyard. And then the trains come in right into here, load onto the boats, and the boats head out. We also have a cruise ship being built here, which is a really good moneymaker. And then we also have a bunch of yards for cargo just to sit in. Then we have these smaller ports for ships to come in and either load or disembark their cargo. But that was a really fun build. I think it took us 2 episodes to build all that, and I really like how it turned out. It was kind of a practice really to build kind of a port on an open shoreline. And then also around the Christmas season we built this airport area. A little compact, but this airport area has helicopter landing pads and 2 subway systems that connect to it. So we built this airport service area as well. So police, medical can get in there. We also have helicopter depots in here. We also have a blimp depot, which we never ended up building, but that's okay. We also recently built this hotel area, which I gotta say I really like how this turned out. And coming over here we have our cargo airport area, which is also our garbage processing facility. We have quite the backup of trains coming in here. There probably should be a yard of some sort coming off of here, so trains can kind of line up theoretically, because I guess a lot of people want to take this cargo airport or get their cargo via airplanes out of the city. But I'm really happy with the area we chose for this airport. Planes come in and land this way. They can take off and go this way. It's pretty close to the highway there, but the planes don't actually use that much space in this game. But now we're into the downtown. This is New Lancaster University, which never leveled up to the point where we wanted it to be. It's got its own subway system, and the subway kind of goes along through this trench, down, and into the airport. I had really high hopes for this university, but that mod conflict really messed with things for sure. And it never leveled up, so I hope I don't have that issue in the future. But it was a really cool build out this way. I really like the way this giant dorm turned out, clipping the 2 dorms together. We also kind of added a couple high density buildings out here for maybe some student high rises. Then we have a nice kind of ritzy part of town by the beach. And this kind of goes into the downtown of the city. We added in some key buildings. Let's just get it this way because of the shadows. Some unique buildings over here, like the high interest tower. And then along over this way, we have a nice ferry stop that connects to a bunch of bus routes throughout this area. And we have a football and basketball stadium. We also built a bit of a tram hub over here, which takes people right into the heart of the city. So it's a great transit option to get in and out of this area if you're going to a new Lancaster basketball game or a college football game. So coming over this way, we have a bit of a modern city center along this tram line. Whoa, this is a really cool area. Lots of people waiting for the tram that goes this way. This tram line goes right down to the beach. And then we come right along here. Some nice looking buildings. And we get into our hotel district, our tourism district. We have the observation tower over this way where you can see the whole city, including Thornton Gardens. In our giant square about, which for some reason everyone lines up in this lane, even though they're going other directions. But this took us a while to figure out the proper speed of the transit and everything. I expect this corner to be quite the hotbed when we do our transit video. If we can ever fix it, we actually have a light on it because the traffic was so bad. So maybe that's something we have to fix in the future. Probably, but this made us a lot of money with people going in and out of it. We have a bit more of a residential area over this way, over here, which kind of leads down to the piers as well, and a tram line that goes into our transit hub and out over into Mapleton. So this transit hub has a lot of traffic. Wow. I wonder what's going on here. This guy seems to be stuck. Oh, no, okay. So there's just lots of trams. So that's something we'll have to look out for. And this also goes down to our subway. Maybe we should spread out the tram stops a bit so they're not all waiting right here. But it sure seems like there's a bit of an issue with the trams. Which isn't good. So that's something to look out for in the future in the next episode. But I really like the way this transit hub turned out. You got a ferry that goes across the river. You got bus stops. You got a subway. You got two subway stops actually, two different lines. It's unfortunate that you can't kind of make like a larger subway station with two lines. And we have a tram station. So it's like a metro, bus, ferry, tram hub. Right in the core of the city. Be quite the busy area in real life. So we're coming over this way to our hotel district, which we were at before. Get some nice views of the beach. Got a nice little Ferris wheel over here. We have that tram line that runs along the beach, which goes to the airport. Or does it? No, it stops at the university, sorry. So it comes right into here, where we have the city hockey arena and a nice little old market area. It's an older part of the city. I really, really like how it turned out, especially with the look of all these huge IT buildings up over here. So we built this pretty early on, probably too early, to be honest. And these buildings are massive. it dwarfed the rest of the city for a while. So it's so much so that it took up all our industrial demand, and then also there was just so much craziness that we had to start taking up buildings to adding residential. So we added in some nice Green City DLC condos with some living walls, it looks like, to kind of help balance out the look. We also added in this asset, which is one of the few building assets we built in the city, which is a real condo tower from Toronto. It's really, really cool. I think it really kind of adds to the height of the area because it spreads it out a bit. And then we're coming over this way, and we have some more high-density residential an aquarium, Riverside a fish market. Oh man, that's pretty funny. Didn't even realize. And this comes to the only tram line, passenger tram line to the city, or train, sorry. So this is an intercity train line, but fear not, there is a subway line right here and a couple buses that go through. Also a tram depot, which doesn't have many trams on it, interestingly enough. So pretty easy for people coming into the city by train to get throughout the city itself. And then we also have this mess of a cargo port. And it's right beside a nice luxury hotel. And also we have a resort over here as well. Pretty nice. So this mess is really strange, but it also kind of is pretty close to our secondary airport, our local airport, or national airport, I guess. Coming from, sorry, I'm just going to zoom out really quickly, our international airport's over here. And this airport's kind of modeled after Billy Bishop Airport in Toronto. And we have a couple of hotels over here. It's got its own services area. And it really helps kind of spread out the air traffic in the city. And then over this way we have our university, or our college, and we also have the new Lancaster Fort, which is a national park we built a few episodes ago. I guess closer to 20 episodes ago now, jeez. And this is some old, maybe World War II battlements that were built to protect Lancaster Port, and you can walk around to the other side as well, which is really, really nice. Yeah, a nice day to spend here and learn some history of the city of New Lancaster. And then we're coming over this way to the city, but I think since we're just going to cut this area off, we'll go over here first. It's a newer area, nice little park, some sports areas, and a nice garden area over here. Perhaps it was an old farm that was kind of repurposed over time. Some nice housing over this way as well. This was a nice area to build. And then now we're going to come into the City College with the tram line that goes right through it and goes right into the old tram, ferry, bus, subway depot that we built the other day. There's even a subway connection over this way as well, which is the end of the line. So this subway that I just pointed out comes over here, and then it goes above ground right here, and then it continues out to over here. So lots of ways to get around. But this college took us a long time to build, and to be honest, it's probably eating up a lot of the students that want to go to university in the city. But it's a little surprising because it's so far away from the suburbs that so many people want to continue to go here. And then we also built this area pretty early on, Bakery Square, which is one of the first factories we built. And it's a bit of an industrial area. I think it's like a food manufacturing area, hence the term Bakery Square. Ignore the cemetery in the food manufacturing area. And this is Mapleton, which was one of the original communities in the city. I think it was the first community other than New Lancaster we built, and it has grown so much over time. These buildings were never this high before, and they got really elevated really quickly. So maybe that's something we shouldn't have done. Maybe we should have started spreading out the height, the density. Maybe made a high-rise band or something like that. It kind of dwarfs it. But you know, realistically, developers would definitely want to build over here because there's a tram line that goes right through here, over this way, underground right here, into the downtown, right to the transit hub. You can get anywhere from Mapleton really fast. Definitely a community I would like to live in if I were to live in the city. So that takes us to the end of this peninsula. And then we're coming over here where we already talked about our forestry and farming areas. We built a zoo as well over here. Left a lot of this area fallow, which is probably a better idea around the zoo. We also built this golf course out this way, which is a mod for the city, a mod for the game, sorry. Which I really think this should be in the game itself, without any mods, because it's a really cool asset and adds a lot to the city. Probably a smaller area than I would next time build a golf course on, but I think it turned out great. We actually used the truck stop from the Japanese content creator pack to kind of make the clubhouse for it. Really cool. There's lots of clubhouse assets in the workshop, but I thought this one looked really, really neat. So this golf course kind of spreads out over this whole island. Be a nice day on the golf course. I would definitely hit a lot of balls into the river. We also have a couple areas for housing out this way, and then if we follow this road all the way up, it comes to our little farming community way up here, which I really like this, how this looks. We got a covered bridge over this way, which there's still housing zoning over this way, so what the heck's happening over here? Oh, the game was paused. People will probably develop out this way eventually when demand is needed. Did I even zone over here? I did. So I think we just need to wait for people to move in. So let's go back to this. So we got a ranch over here, a little farms over this way. I really like how this turned out. It's on a national road, which kind of goes all the way out of the city. But it's a really cool little area. I'm excited to build more smaller communities like this in the future. So now we're into the suburbs, I guess, which is kind of the end of, whoa, big fire over this way. Anyways, so this is our oil industry, which took a long time to get to level 5. So there's a bit of some extraction over this way, and then it comes into the processing over this way. Then we're coming over this way to our suburban transit hub. So this is an intercity bus station or bus terminal. I'm not sure if there's, I might be wrong, but there might be even like a subway connection into here. No, there isn't. This is just a big bus station. And this is a main subway line, which comes through here, goes into the mountain, and underground it connects to our other bus station, and then down over here where it connects with other subway lines. So this was a pretty cool area to build. Expo Place is what we called it. It's a science center, an exhibition, an expo center, hence the name, I guess. And built some higher density living out this way because pretty close to the transit of the city. We have a cargo train line as well that goes right through here, over top of a roundabout, and out of the city. We have a pretty big hockey rink over here as well, probably at least 2 rinks in here. Got a tennis club and a soccer field into a nice sports area. We also have our old transit hub over here, which we never destroyed. It's kind of a relic of the city. This was our old transit bus hub before we moved it over here. So not that far away, but it was more efficient for the subway line. So we moved it all over this way. And this was right beside our old, one of our original cargo train stations, I think. And this is right beside our ore industry, which kind of got maxed out because of the suburbs around it. But it's a great area. And then it comes, this whole area kind of bleeds out over here, where we get into this national park. You come up this way, you get to New Lancaster Tower. We kind of pretended this was like the Newport Tower in Newport, Connecticut. Pretty interesting. Although the Newport Tower is like right in the water, and this one's on a mountain. And then this takes us over to the suburb of Umber. Just the housing community with a bit of a strip over this way. And I think there's some more commercial down over here. We get to a nice high school and also a small aviation club. This community should probably have road access right here to the highway, but that's okay. People have to drive all the way over here. It's not that far. And we also have this new community out over this way of Linden Heights, I think, which you know, I wish we could have done more with this area, but you know, we wanted to finish the building part of the city in 100 episodes, and we did. We also have this car factory and some other industrial factories with some hiking trails around here, as well as over here. Oh, sorry, over here. We already touched on this one. Then we get into our suburbs. So there's a couple communities kind of intertwined over here with a lemonade factory right in here as well, which is pretty cool. And some nice parks that kind of connect them together, especially right here. People will definitely love to use those to kind of walk around. And then we get up over here, got a nice big high school, and we get into Elgin, which is kind of on this hill, but also right here, which is a really, really cool looking area. Now that it's all filled in, I don't think you guys have seen it filled in all the way, but it's a really nice old community. It's got a nice beach area, kind of rings around this lake for a nice look, and then it spreads it over this way where we have a bit of another national park over here. So that's pretty much it. I think we touched on everything. Even this, I don't think we really touched on this one, but we built this sports complex as well over this way. Pretty cool area, part of the city. Lots of bus lines going up and down. So that's pretty much the overview of the city. So let's look at transit in the city. So let's start over here at the airport. There's helicopter lines that go all the way around the city in like a loop. There's, see this green line? This green line is a subway line. It goes into the city, and then it's supported by tram lines that follow this purple line. And then another one over this way. And then another one that goes from here up. And then another one that goes from our transit hub over this way, connecting to this one, and to this one, and down. We also have a subway station that, or a tram line that goes from here all the way out this way. And then another tram line that, I wonder what's going on over here. I think this was supposed to be a turnaround at one point that we never really changed back. So that's interesting. Or I think we were going to build a tram line over this way, but I think that's a bit of a relic from the old city. So we also have a subway line that goes from our transit hub over this way, which is supported by a tram line that goes from here. Oh, I guess if I can just do this, you can see where it goes. So not much north-south support, but it's divided by the highway, and they're both people would want to go over this way to the downtown anyways. So back to our airport subway line. I think I can just do that. So as you see, it goes all the way over this way into New Lancaster, loops around over here by the baseball diamond and music area, and then back to the airport. So that's like the main loop, I guess, of the city. We also have that supporting subway line, which goes from here, which is a bit of a transit hub, I guess, for New Lancaster, and into the suburbs. We have tons of bus lines that go throughout the city. We're not going to go over them entirely, but especially in the suburbs, we have subway bus lines that go from all of this the suburbs and kind of filter down over this way to that bus terminal, and then this people can transfer to the subway station to get downtown New Lancaster, and then from there they're on the main loop, so you can go anywhere in the city. We even have a bus line going out this way and out this way. So lots of transit options in the city, a couple ferry lines back and forth. I think from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. But that's transit for the city. Then let's go over the mods we use for the city as well, and then we'll kind of end it there, and then we're going to transfer into cinematics. So what mods did we use for the city? So we used Achieve It, so it enabled achievements in the city even though we were using mods. Auto repair, so it automatically repaired buildings that were destroyed. Automatic pedestrian bridge builder, we never used that. This one allowed us to use building themes for the city. Cinematic camera extend is the camera where we get to look over top of the city. This one turns off the fog on the edges of the map. This one I think you'll see in the transit episode. I think we used it once with one of the videos with our transit planner Ryan. It kind of gives you like a detailed map that you can kind of take out, like a export. This one is for mod issues. Landscaping tools, we've used that a ton. Allows us to kind of undo terrain modifications. Find It is fantastic. That's what I use to find all the parking assets, because some of the parking assets are in parks and leisure, and some of them are in roads, and I never know which one's where. First person camera kind of allows you to zoom right in. Forest brush is a great way, a great mod to help out in zoning forests, I guess. Pretty obvious. Intersection marking tool is something I probably should have done more of. Definitely will in the next city. Allows you to kind of make proper road lines and interchanges, where oftentimes the game will kind of just not add in lines. Road anarchy allows you to kind of build roads more efficiently and tighter than the game normally allows. And then the Fine Road tool is pretty helpful as well when you're building. That's for mod conflicts. More effective transfer mod. This is one of the best mods in the game. It allows the game to actually use warehouses properly the way you'd think. So the way a factory will send out a call out to get plastic, it'll just send a truck anywhere in the city where there's plastic, whereas this mod makes it so it'll go to the closest warehouse. Move It is the greatest mod in the game. I use it all the time. It's right down here. Is the button for it. It allows you to place things really precisely and helps you with roads especially. Network Extensions 2 is an awesome mod. It adds in lots of road assets. This one makes it so industrial areas don't look like a radioactive desert. Node Controller allows you to control the nodes of roads, make them sloped, make them extended. Great mod. Optimized outside connections helps the outside connections of the city. Parallel road tool we used a couple times when building the highways. Very helpful. Parkify allows you to place park assets outside of parks. Picker allows you to just quickly pick this, like a road, for example. So it's right here. So I click the road, and we'll bring up that road on my cursor. Precision engineering helps with building roads. Prop and tree anarchy allows you to place props and trees anywhere. Prop line tool, I don't think we really use that much. That's for detailing. Prop snapping, snaps props into place. Realistic population revisited. I think this is the mod that was causing some of the issues with my industrial or my university demand. So I'll have to reinstall that one. I don't really know what that one is. Roundabout builds are pretty easy. It adds a roundabout over an intersection for you. I don't know if we use that in the city. I might delete that one. Surface painter, very helpful. TMPE, this one's going to be featured a lot in the next one. In the next video, it's our traffic, helps with traffic. Touch this. It allows you to kind of remove and edit roads that are kind of a part of an asset already. And then this one is for visuals. Visuals again. Visuals also. Same with this one. And then zoning adjuster is a new one I just downloaded for the next build. So those are the mods we used. We also used a bunch of assets. Let's see if we can kind of find them really quickly. So no power assets. I don't think we've got any water assets as well, or heating. Industrial. We got this one waste disposal unit, which I don't even know if we really built. So that's interesting. I think that's all the assets we got for industrial areas. Health, I don't think we have any assets for, nor for fire or disaster. I don't think we have any police assets. No. Education, we do have a lot of assets. We got this church, which is a really cool building. It counts as education, but I really like the look of them. We got a small public library, which has a huge radius compared to the larger library, which is much cooler looking. Whoa. But it doesn't cover as much land. And I don't think we have any university assets or anything like that. Transit, do we have any? We have a parking garage, which I don't think we're going to use. It's a bit too small. I don't think we have any other ones over there, but we definitely have some over this way. So we have all these parking assets. Allows you to make parking lots. I think that was, oh, and then bus lane assets as well. And then we also have a bunch of intersection props. So you just choose this one, place it down instead of trying to build it. Okay, so that's roads. We already said we had nothing there. In the parks, we have a lot of assets we used. Basketball court, the Esso gas station, which is right here. It's a gas station in Canada. Another parking garage, parking, volleyball, tennis, baseball, which is amazing that like baseball diamonds aren't in the game already, because this asset's awesome. Basketball, soccer, a sunken plaza, a hockey rink. So cool. And then we have the golf assets. I don't think we have anything over there. Another soccer field, a tennis club. Those are all normal. Same over there. I'm not sure if any of these props are a part of added assets. And then nothing over there. So I think that's pretty much all the things we've added into the game from the DLC, or besides the DLCs. And the city turned out fantastically. So let's take a quick little zoom out of the city. Pretty great looking city, not gonna lie. Really happy with it. If you have any suggestions, we have one more episode in the city before we move on to the next one. But we're gonna do a bit of a transit fix. Probably not to get it to 100, but at least kind of help it out a bit. So without further ado, let's get into some cinematics. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace out. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching the cinematics in this episode. I hope you liked the city. I really enjoyed making it. And you know what? We didn't really do cinematics at nighttime, but holy cow, does the city look beautiful at night. Thank you very much for watching the series. I really appreciate all of the support on the channel. And I look forward to making the transit video, which is kind of gonna be like the final video for the new Lancaster before we move on to the next series. So I hope you have a great day, everyone, and peace out.